There we have it. Very good afternoon, everyone. Again, Charles here, Frgnt Daily Chart Analysis, Frgnt Mastery, FrgntForex.com. Another take profit for the day. That's EG shorts hitting, I think, just shy of 1 to 3, 3% roughly, give or take some spreads. We'll make do of that. And US dollar CAD, in all honesty, a little bit annoyed at myself. As always, full transparency, I pretty much should have allowed the trade to hit Asia range lows. I'll be honest, I didn't. As a result of seeing that rejection candle, I waited for price to close and look to fill that wick. And I'll be honest, I was not prepared to lose or have 4.5% on the table and risk it rejecting that 4-hour 50 MA before price even getting there. So I'll be very honest, that wasn't the full take profit to plan. I'm sure you can tell by my voice, which, to be honest, I'm not entirely moved by take profits on a normal day, but I'll be quite honest, pretty annoyed at myself. Should have really have not micromanaged that trade, as I preach in my communities. Do not micromanage your trade. It was just on the off chance that I had finished doing everything that I needed to do pretty much for the day, and I had decided to actually just open TradingView on my phone, and believe it or not, that's what I had come to see price rejecting. So I allowed that candle to close, fill the wick of imbalance that's clearly left behind there at the lows, and as soon as I saw that 15-minute candle pushing down, I closed the position out. But nevertheless, you should always be happy if you're able to make money in line with your strategy. Then what is there to complain about? So that's roughly 4.5% today, round about there. I think it was 4.5% on US dollar CAD, mixed in with 3% this morning as well. So it's a solid day, to be quite honest. Yesterday, again, full transparency, as always, I took 2 losses. Believe it or not, trading pretty much exactly the same setup, and that's hence this video, to be honest, just to emphasize the requirement in trading to be disciplined. Always have absolute faith and absolute confidence in your setup, in your edge, in your charting ability. That will just allow you to flow with the markets and execute freely. When price gives you the picture, you recognize it straight away. If it feels difficult that you're not quite seeing your setup, it doesn't quite match what it needs to be, then that's when trading gets difficult. Pardon me, everyone, my alerts are still going bananas. But that's when trading gets difficult, when you have the confrontation in your own mind. Do I not? And that's why I decided to create Frgnt Mastery, just to give that very solid, fixed outline in terms of everything that you need to look for. I mean, it's an Asia range setup, very clear in the dynamics, very clear in the requirements, very clear on the entry criteria. Of course, with the higher time frame directional bias setup, still the top-down analysis, you can't go wrong with that. It's fixed. And of course, there are different entry models to gain entry into these positions, but that's personal. That is down to your own risk appetite, whether, like me today on EG, whether you want to wait for a bearish 15-minute candle, leaving an imbalance behind on a lower time frame and taking the short position from the imbalance based upon what you've done. Apologies on the background noise again, but just if you have the confidence to execute in line with previous history of your own statistics, your own trading journal, be confident in your approach in all areas of trading. So it's just, I really wanted to really emphasize that, if I'm being quite honest. It's not really all about the take profits, because, yesterday I was arguably a lot happier. Forget about the finances. I was arguably a lot happier executing 2 trades that were textbook. And when I say textbook, I genuinely mean setup, textbook, entry criteria, textbook, but both trades ended up in a loss. Now, these are the trading psychology patterns that some people, some traders, people that even attempt trading just cannot seem to get their head around. How is it that I can do everything correct, let's say hypothetically, on a Monday? However, on a Tuesday, I do all the same things. On a Monday, I bank. On a Tuesday, doing exactly the same thing that I did on a Monday, I take two losses, right? And then I come to the charts today on the back of taking two losses yesterday and execute the same setup, if not with even slightly less confluence. Yesterday, I waited in the Asia range. I waited for a tremendous break of structure on that 1 minute time frame. However, today, I recognized, as I've said earlier on, for this, what was it? US dollar CAD setup, that actually, okay, I should have really have taken this on a limit as a result of the break in London. However, I went one step further and I waited for a break of structure again at the highs. Now, as I said, I've added more confluence to this trade, which actually meant I could have missed this particular setup altogether. Now, how would I journal a trade that I should have taken and I missed it? You know, that would hurt, but that's as a result of perhaps even yesterday's psychology playing into it. Okay, let's not make this losing two streak become 3 and 4 and then potentially spiral out of control. You have to have those limits in place and recognize when your performance could be hindered. Therefore, I added the confluences into US dollar CAD. And again, confidence in your trading ability, confidence in your edge over time, and you execute. And that is the result. 4.5% on one trade, US dollar CAD. And as I've said previously, 3% on EG. Now, am I even concerned about the losses that I took yesterday? Am I concerned about the losses I took 2 months ago? Absolutely not. So a very great example, again, of discipline in trading and the requirement to just execute your strategy with as minimal trading error as possible in order for you to journal it accurately. I can now journal this accurately, no trading error in place. I mean, the only error, to be quite honest, is the safeguards that I place upon the trade that really wasn't required. As I said, after this break of structure, my position should have actually been a limit order from that 1 minute break of structure with a very similar stop loss, and I would have been in the same position. However, what if I waited for those breaks of structures and they never came, and price just did exactly this now and didn't pull back to the imbalance left at the highs? That's soul destroying. That's what wrecks your emotions, your psychology going forward. So note to self, I should say, note to self, even as a professional trader, and note to all of you as well, that some of these psychological happenings that do crop up into your trading is very natural. We are human and we are playing with, it doesn't even matter about the size of your account. It's all relative to you. But the psychology, it doesn't get any easier the longer you're in the game. It doesn't get any easier the bigger the account balance. And it doesn't get any easier with, okay, I'll correct myself. It gets a little easier with experience. As I said, I do not micromanage my charts, but just on that off chance, I had managed to open up TradingView and saw those wick rejections from the lows. Nevertheless, I hope you gain the point that I'm trying to express, and I will stop waffling now. So it's Thursday the 5th of February, just for my own benefit in history, and just approaching 20 minutes past 3 in the afternoon, Milano. So that is Charles or Frgnt Daily Chart Analysis 2, almost textbook setup today. Certainly textbook in the entry criteria, that's for sure. Yeah, as I said, even more confluence on this particular US dollar CAD short position. But as I always say, and I'll leave you with this, thank you very much for all the support across all of the social platforms, in particular TradingView, where as a result of last month, I think we hit just over 1,000 followers, 1,000 traders paying careful attention to my analysis. That pretty much comes out daily. Frgnt daily chart analysis. Even over the weekend, I do not rest and I provide those breakdowns for you. So we're just over 1,000 ideas as well. I'm always present in the mind, so thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your support. And I'll leave you with, if you're willing or if you're bored of losing, if you're sick of losing, if you need a fixed plan, a fixed trading criteria to follow, then please take a look. Our telegrams are free on Frgnt. The community is free. Of course, Frgnt Mastery, there is a charge, a monthly subscription for that. But nevertheless, I always advocate any person that, or any trader, I should address you, any trader that has joined Frgnt in any way, please do take a look at everything that I have to offer. There is a lot of free knowledge. Head over to the YouTube, head over even onto the videos that I post on TradingView. This particular video, if you're listening to it now, there is knowledge hidden within. There are some elements that I simply cannot hide my trade. Regardless of this being for subscriptions or for subscribers or not, I cannot hide this trade. So if you can work it out, congratulations. If you would like more information on how to secure these types of positions, and don't get me wrong, there will be losing days. I am very transparent within my community. If I take a trade and I lose, you most certainly will know about it. There is no doubt about that. But that is to stress the fact that this is trading, and I'm still yet to find a trader that has a 100% strike rate. And I, for one, am not one of those, you'll be pleased to know as well. So www.frgntforex.com. Of course, in the library, in the store, you'll find all that Frgnt has to offer. Please do take a look at the free Telegram communities. As I said, absolutely free knowledge, YouTube, and trading news. So thank you very much, everyone, for your time and your appreciation. Do take care. All the very best and trade well. Charles.